And one fish, two fish, and one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a red fish, blue fish. Okay, the Twitch sound check is good. Okay, the Twitch sound check is good. Actually, I want to check something out. Actually, we'll check something out. We'll come back. We'll make sure YouTube is on. And my camera is looking at the top of my head. There we go. That's a little bit better. Show off that manly chest. No, we're not. There we go. We're going to go take a peek at the YouTube and see if it's, it thinks I'm running. It still shows Mickey Mouse, though, over there. Why am I not seeing my live stream over here? You satanic. There it is. Live stream over here. All right, that's not too bad. You satanic. There it is. Live stream over here. I'm going to check a couple new commands. So I'm going to turn on the... Here, let's do... I've been playing with the streamer bot.
Is that a salami in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
That did not do what I was supposed to do.
It's a salami.
But I heard it. I heard it. That's supposed to launch with the salami command. Does the salami command do anything?
Is that a salami in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
It's a salami.
Did I hear that? Actually, I'm going to double check.
Salami.
I did hear that on YouTube. Okay. So it is being broadcasted out. And that is not supposed to happen when I type in Daz. It's only supposed to happen when you type in salami. We'll fix it. It fixes it. It's kind of funny when it comes up with Daz. Anyhow, what are we going to do? We are working on the Aqua swimsuit still, with the idea of doing this and most of this product on stream. So I want to double check the camera in Blender. We had kind of gotten it textured and set up, and today we're going to rig it in Daz. And then I think we're going to maybe start the morphs on the swimsuit. So, but I think I wanted to make an adjustment on the camera a little bit. Let's take a look at where we left off on that. So if I'm going to adjust that, we're going to just pop into Substance really quick, re-export out the textures, and then bring it back into here. What I want to, I think, is I want the clamp to be able to, I don't think I can get enough pivot on the clamp, is what it comes down to. Let's take a look. I was not really paying attention to that. I put a pivot point in there, but the camera might be too close to the clip on the back to actually rotate much. I don't know if that makes any sense. It will in a minute. There's the Aqua camera. Let's not save that. So the idea is, yeah, I have this clip too far. The idea was to be able to rotate this camera more, and I think I'm just too darn tight in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and push this stuff back. And of course that's going to redo the UV mapping. Oh, I'm only going to get my UV stretched in here, and it's kind of black. Part of me says I should fix it. I think we'll fix it. I think it'll just take a few extra minutes. He said, crossing his fingers, hopefully. So let's tab. I am in edit mode. Let's go into vertex. Let's turn on Z X-ray. I want to grab this stuff back here. I was still in face mode. I think I got everything I needed though. So I wanted a little more room in there so we can tilt this back further. And then of course when I do that, I'm going to be stretching these UVs. So I'm going to re-UV map it. And then I just gotta kind of redo everything in Substance. We already have most of the texture set up, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. I think that'll give me a nice amount of extra room. So let's tab out, let's grab everything. Let's tab in. Let's pop back over to here. Let's select everything and think do that and then redo that, and we should be good. So we're going to export this out for Daz. Then I'm going to pull it out a bit further, and then we're going to re-export it for Substance Painter. We kind of have it set up for Substance Painter, so it shouldn't be too bad. At the very worst, I'll have my colors off with my ID maps. Anyhow, back to here. Let's do an export. Are you my export? Make sure to use our Daz options. So I'm just going to override our camera. Alright, now we're just going to export out the camera twice. And before I do that, we're just going to separate these out so it avoids getting occluded too much when we make our mesh maps. That'll probably do the trick. Alright, now we're just going to export this out twice. And I should have duplicated this first. Yeah. I am gonna, before we export it, I'm gonna make a copy. This one should just go away. I think I can just delete that. Alright, then I'm just gonna duplicate that collection, hide this, then this is the collection that gets spread out. So I'm gonna put that over there, move you back here, and then move you back to here. Okay, then we're just going to export this out. These are for substance, so this one's going to have the IDs. We still have our materials going. Boom. All right, now we do the one with no IDs. That's the one we actually have to import into the substance paint. Yeah, right there. Check materials off. Export. All right, should be good if I hit save here. And all right, I know we did this at the end of stream yesterday, but since I've rearranged the UVs just a little bit, we're going to redo the maps. We're going to use the same names, so hopefully it should just go relatively well. Here we go. Close that. We're going to reopen up what we started with yesterday and swap out the geometry for the updated one. File. Are you file? Recent files. Dun, 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 dun. There it is, all the way down there. I was busy last night and today. Okay, so this kind of is probably not working right because we remapped it, so things are probably going to be in different places. But it looks like it's not too far off, actually. But we're going to redo our bakes. And because these are assigned to colors, they should automatically, once we rebake the IDs, be good. And then I can just export this out. At least that's the plan. Edit project configuration. Oh, I haven't updated this yet. That's why it's still good. Totally in the wrong. That's the problem with doing one project on stream and another project off stream. And then off stream, I'm going to be navigating everything back to the dress directory. But right now, we're navigating everything over to the beach party directory, and we're looking for sporty swim. There we go, 2025. Whip it, substance. We're going to update with this one right here, NMs. And see, now we're seeing that colors are in the wrong spot. But now we're going to rebake. Bake our mesh maps. Oh, the ID map baked really fast. Do that. Reset. That. Set you back to 2K there. Normal world map. Ambient occlusion, curvature, and position. Rebake all of those. And hopefully we should just be good to just export it out because we set it all up yesterday. Let's go take a look at our paint. It looks like it's right. My lens is in the right spot. Everything's black, but they're like different materials of black. And then my little, look at that, I still got my little diamonds on my wheel, so I'm good to go. And so now I've got that little extra room on there so we can actually pivot that camera a little bit more on that clip. That's the whole reason for this little detour here. All right, Control-Shift-E, I'm going to export. I am exporting it 2K because it's just this little accessory. I mean, I could do 4K. Yeah, I'm going to do 2K. If somebody whines about it, I'll generate a 4K map and send it to them. Nobody ever whines about that stuff, though. Yeah, export, export, export. There we go. And ideally, I should just be able to drop these over the ones in there. So let's open up output directory. I love that little open up output directory. And this is the stuff right here. This other stuff is garbage. I should just get rid of this while I'm thinking about it. Nope, that's camera. I need to keep that. That's garbage. This is the camera. Control X that. We're going to run off to our projects. You're in my D drive somewhere. You're going to the beach party. That's the next project in line, but we're not working on that. We're working on Sporty Swim. And runtime, textures. And this is for the camera, so we're just going to hover. And this should complain that I should have 5 conflicts. Yep. All right, so that's all good. Okay, now we're going to bring the new camera into Daz and rig it up and save it out as a rigged figure. There we go. Let's hit save on that. I'm going to be bold and close Blender. I'm also going to be bold and close Substance Painter as if I'm like done with it. And that is gone. And do I need this export directory? I don't know. We'll put you just over here. And I don't know what you're doing. You can stop that. All right, let's open. I had a file open recent. I think it said Aquafo Swim Whip G8F. There we go. And Chris can't see chat anymore because he's now covered it up. So after this loads in, I'll resize Daz. And then I can see how dead my chat is. There we go. So there's the camera we were doing yesterday. I'm not going to need that anymore because we've changed it already. I do have my node in here still. Although I can see it. I thought I had it hidden. We'll make sure it's hidden before we get much further. Anyhow, we're going to bring it in here. We're going to set it up. Convert it to a figure. Yo, Willie, how are you doing? Then we're going to set up bones and assign parts of the mesh to the different bones. There's a clever way to do this, and I've already forgotten how it works. I think I can assign vertex groups in Blender and bring it in and use the setup tool to kind of get this going. This is relatively simple, though. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So it should be real easy. My brain has stopped. 5 parts. It's going to have 5 parts. Anyhow, it still should be easy. We're importing. And you can see where I was working last on the dress. But we're going back to the beach. And right there, and right there, and I should have the updated camera right here. And I can see it off to the side. There it is, it's got the bigger gap. Okay. There it is. I'll just zoom in on that. I'm just going to check the texture on it real quick. Surfaces, do that. I have this generic, I have this special shader I made, which is just basically a modified base shader. The big thing is I hid a lot of the channels because they're just in the way. And this way I can just see the main stuff that I usually want to put textures on. Like metallicity. And let's start with metallicity. And let's hit browse. And I am in an earring folder. Which of course makes sense because that's what I was working on earlier. And the beach party again. And back down to the sportiness. Charles isn't going to be with us tonight. He's not feeling, he's a little under the weather, he said. So he's turning in and getting some, hopefully, good rest. So hopefully Charles is feeling better soon. I'm going the wrong way. I'm getting textures, that's right. The camera texture. I think I clicked on metallic first, so we'll start with metallic. Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Willie. I probably have to update Willie's shout out commands because I haven't really touched him much. I might sneak the DeviantArt in there. We'll see if we can get away with that. You know, we can check out Charles too. There you go. Let's go get the base color. I could drag and drop these, but I'm already just doing it this way. Grab that glossy roughness. See, with all the stuff that I don't need to be seeing hidden, this just makes it a lot faster. I can quickly find what I'm looking for, get it in here, instead of having to scroll up and down. You know what? I can change the colors of these, can't I? I should do that. God, that'll even make them easier to find. Why didn't I think of that before? Decades later. I think I'm going to do that. You should be able to in parameter settings, right? Right here, we can change the colors. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm totally going to change those colors. And that's going to make them even easier to work with. So I can just do, you know, something like this. Going to do that. I'm not going to save this, but I'm kind of like that. So there's two colors on these that it kind of blends. And then I can accept that. And now you can see, oh, that's a crappy looking normal map choose color. Can I get that to be better? Or am I doomed? That doesn't look nearly as nice as the parameter dials. I'll play with that. Anyhow, I'm lost. Let me go get a normal map in here. And then we're done with the textures on that. Okay, so we got all our textures on here. I'm just doing a quick render. I'm going to adjust my center point. Oh, we're inside the ground because I've got a ground render stuff in here. I'm not going to change that right now. Well, that's in my, here, we'll just turn that off actually. It's over here in the environment. Draw ground, I'll just turn that off. There, that's better. And so basically it's the camera with the screw-on knob and a clip mount on the back of it. Alright, I gotta put a glass shader on here. Other than that, we're done. That's right, I didn't bother. Because things like glass, I always just do in Daz. And I have a shader just sitting over here on the side. Solid, clear glass, there we go. Control R. I can only see through the buttons just a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. Looking good. All right. And now we're going to rig it. First things first, let's pop over into the scene tab. Let's select the camera. Let's come over here. And I think it is in Edit, Rigging, Convert Prop to Figure. We're going to use General Weight Mapping. because triax is just the way we did it back when poodles ruled the earth. Accept that. Okay, so everything should just be on one bone right now. So I'm just going to change you to just say figure alvo camera. And then what do we have? And then I have this bone. We're going to... Do I want to just call you case? Can I rename you from here? Yes. I'm just going to say case. And then we're going to have knob. And we're going to have a clip 1, clip 2, and clip 3. So anyhow, let's take a look at our rigging here. I'm going to reorient this. I actually want the center of the camera to be right on this point right here. Centered up. Should be centered up right. But we'll take a look and make sure it lines up. It might be a little high or a little low. Let's pop into front view so I can do this fairly precisely. So what I want, yeah, I want it right there. I'm going to turn on wireframe. Yep. So I want the center of the camera to be right there and then lined up in the middle of that knob. So we're going to just back up a little bit. So I can kind of grab this and we're going to put this. Yo, SROM, how are you doing? I'm going to try to visually line that up for my center point. Oh, I got too much going on. I'm in too close. Daz does not like to be in too close. Good. Hey, everybody, catch SROM Music, super cool music streamer. Does this still work? I can't out. I gotta type this out. Music. Look at that. There you go. And someday I'll get that to show up on the YouTube as well. But at least it shows up on Twitch, and that's what's really important. Okay, I'm going to tweak these settings just a little bit. I'm making a camera for a sports bikini outfit. So right now we're rigging the camera in Daz. And I don't know, what is that? Just watch Cory Booker beat Strom's filibuster record. Wow. I think I caught a little wind that he was up to something. He's still going. So he has only, what, a couple more, another year and 11 months to just stay up there? Is that the plan? You wish, yeah. If only. Tool settings, there we go. That needs to be... That exposition is good. That needs to be 0. And that needs to be 0. And then I need to rotate this. Is that a Z rotation? Yeah, I need to Z rotate that this direction. Minus 90. I think I want this to be... Do I want YXZ? I can't remember. I need to take a look at something. But how he talked for over 24 hours. It hasn't lost his voice. It is amazing. Dang. He's probably been in training for this. Okay. So I want to look at this leg. And its orientation is YZX. Y, Z, X. So I want this to be X, Y, Z or something like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. X, Y, Z. Let's try that. Yep, I'm going to try X, Y, Z. And then we're going to add some bones. I'm going to take this and just stick this out over here somewhere. And with that, do I put you back? Dang it. I switched tools. There we go. That's going that way. I want this endpoint to be maybe over here somewhere. I think that's good. I think I need to switch to, you know what, I'm going to hide this stuff. And then we're just going to look at this from the top and add some more bones. I'm going to add a child bone, a couple of child bones off of this. And then that gets a child bone, and then this gets a child bone. What I'm doing, I'm looking for my top camera, top view. There we go. And you are in the wrong spot. You need to be over here. Dang it. And I need to zoom in. So I want that to be right there. And I'm going to put this endpoint to be right in line with that. Now we're just going to right click and create child bone. I'm going to call you knob. Camera knob. I should call everything camera actually, shouldn't I? Camera knob. There we go. X, Y, Z, probably fine. This is going to be clip 01. So I'm going to change this to be camera case. Camera case. So that's camera case is the main body. Camera knob is this part here. There's this little part here. I'm going to call that camera clip 01, camera clip 02, and then there's a camera clip 03. So I'm going to add another child bone to this. Where is this bone, by the way? Oh, you're over here. You know what? I'm just going to move you to there. And I'm just going to pull you through here. It's probably going to be fine. All right, now I'm going to add another child bone. Create child bone. This is going to be camera clip 01. And that's probably over here, so we're going to move you into here, and I'm going to make your rotation Z, YX, I think. Let's do that. And I'm just going to line the endpoint out here somewhere. So wherever this endpoint is, and I should have remembered that, but that's fine. You know what? That's pretty good. Actually, what I want this to be is centered on that right there, which means I actually want this to be kind of centered on this hinge. I have a hinge right there. I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. And now I can't. Can I just control? I think this is going to be about as good as I'm going to get. right there. Then this gets a child bone. Create child bone for that, and this is camera clip 02. 02, and say, and you're going to go XYZ. That'll probably work. So I'll accept that. That's probably going to be okay. I'm just going to put that at the end. And then we're going to make a bone here. It's going to spawn here, but I'll move it over here. And that's for this part of the camera clip. So that's, I'm going to put you off of this one. Create child bone camera clip 03. Camera clip 03. Probably good. Can I just drag you? I can't just drag you like that. And you're going to kind of center in there. See if I can. I'm not sure. I think I want this over here. I didn't line that up very well, did I? That's okay. You can't really see it. So that's the center point of this. I'm just going to leave that like that. And now I think I'm ready to start assigning stuff to stuff. So now we're going to pop over to the geometry editor and group these into face groups. So right now I'm just going to call the first part camera case. And that's everything right now, but now I'm going to break stuff off. So I'm just going to select all of that is camera knob. So create a face group from selected. Camera. What a knob. There we go. Can I zoom in on that? Yay. Okay, how much of this? That kind of works. Yo, Art, how are you doing today? I think that's good. That's going to be camera clip 2. I think, yeah, probably good. We're assigning a face group. Oh, and you're over on the YouTube. I'm working on getting it so that both chats will show up in each other's chat. I have to figure out how to make bots. I think I've got my Twitch bot set up. I have to set up a bot that works with YouTube though. And then I can use those, and basically it's creating another account. And then I can use that other account to post into the chat what comes from another chat. You'll stay here. Your YouTube opens at boot. Okay. Is this good? No, I'm doing this. Camera clip 01. So we're rigging our camera that we made the other day. We started it on Saturday and we finished it yesterday, and I tweaked it a little bit today. All right, I'm going to select all of this. That is camera clip 02. And then I'm going to save that out, and maybe we'll work on morphs on the swimsuit. Camera clip 02. And then this last part back here. Oops, control. Is it control plus? There we go. That's going to be camera clip 03. Boom, boom, boom. Camera clip 03. There we go. Now we're going to assign this stuff up to the bones, tweak the weight maps a little bit, set some limits so only the parts that rotate and move the way we want them to. So yeah, I'm going to switch back to, let's go back to my default camera and zoom in. And now I think I can just switch to, you know, I'm going to do wire texture shaded for a little bit. And then we're going back to the setup, the joint tool. Is that what you are? The joint editor. And we're going to assign these groups that we set up to the different bones. So this already has camera case assigned to it. Camera knob, we're going to come over here, and in here somewhere we're going to say camera knob goes with camera knob. Camera clip 1. I'm going to come over here and say camera clip 1 goes with camera clip 1. I'm clever. I've cleverly named things that way. This is probably camera clip 2. And camera clip 3 should be that one. Okay, so right now, I think the only thing is, I think camera moves around. Right? So it does that. So this is just the base. Why are you not? Oh no, you're a translate. So my center rotation should be right about here. So I set it up so that's my center, but let me see. We do the right Y rotate. No, you're in the wrong spot because I'm going to move you. I want this to be right there. I'll tweak it better later. This should be my center of rotation. It just makes sense. Because I can hide all of this stuff and then stick this on a selfie stick. So that's going to be pretty close. And then I'm just going to, bring you the endpoint. And the endpoint's not really important. So I don't even know why I'm touching it. Okay, let's go look at camera knob. And right now, nothing happens. So we got to do some weight editing. So let's come over here. Nope, let's come over. Here we do the weight map brush. We need the weight map brush. And I'm going to do a geometry selection. And we're going to select by face group, camera knob. And we're just going to do weight editing, fill selection, 100%, and accept that. And I don't have I didn't do that right. I forgot to click on general weights first. And I've got that selected, so let's clear my selection. And then let's do this geometry selection, select by face group, knob, there we go. Then we're just going to do a weight editing, fill selection, 100%. There we go. So now when we come to parameters for the camera knob, yay. Now there's some stuff in here we can do. I'm not going to limit this. Or do I want to limit that? Do I want the knob just to rotate or be hidden? Does anybody really need to move that? Maybe I will limit it. Here, we'll go into edit mode. We're going to do this for most of these parts. But we're going to, while we're here, so what I'm going to do is, I don't want to white. Most of this stuff I don't need. Look at that. We can turn the knob. I'm going to turn the knob. So I need that. We're going to hide these. I'm going to hide all of that. And I'm going to hide these two. So we're just going to come over here and hide selected properties. And then I'm going to rename X rotate to be twist. Like that. And then we're going to rename X translate to be side to side. Side, side. Do that. So if you don't have your, so that's what it will look like normally. You'll be able to just do side to side. And I'm going to put a limit on that. And you can just twist it. Not that you need to move that thing at all, honestly. But we're going to limit this from going in the positive direction. So let's do that. I'm just going to pop here in the property editors. We're going to use limits. And I'm just going to change my max limit to 0. And I'm going to make that, you know what, I'm just going to make that minus 100. That's so probably, nobody's ever going to really need to, I'm going to say 10. let's see. So I can show what the limits do. So now when we do side to side, I can't go that way. I can only come out to here. So that's all you can do with this knob. Also, because you can select it, you can still hide it. So if you're not using it, you can hide it. And now I can't see it. All right, we're good with that. We're going to move along. We're going to undo our grouping. I need a shortcut for clear selection is what I need. And now we're going to just move on to the clip, the camera clip one. That is this stuff here. So kind of the same drill. If I can remember how to do this. Camera clip one. We're going to come over tool settings, general weights. Right now it can't do anything because it doesn't have any weights assigned to it. So we're going to give it some weight. Geometry selection, select by face group, camera clip one. There we go. And then I'm just gonna quickly assign these. Weight editing, fill selection, accept. Okay, clear. And then we move on to the next one. And then we just do geometry selection. Select by face group. This is 2. And we already have our weight map selected there, so we're just going to assign geometry editing, fill selection. Yep. All right, and then we're going to do this one here. So clear. And select that 3 and fill that. All right, now we're going to, now everything should be kind of movable. Let's just double check. Yeah, that looks good. Let me clear this geometry selection so I just don't have that hanging over my head by accident again. And then we'll just pop over into here. And now when you come to the parameters, okay, most of this stuff we don't need. Which one of you do we need? I think I just need a little bit of Y rotate. So let's just look at this from the top. These will be easy to set up from the top because we're going to put limits on these. Top view. There we go. Let's get you over here. So I want this to be able to go. Well, I'm going to hide everything but the Y rotate on this. So let's just click all the way through there. And we'll unclick that. And I'm just going to say hidden, hide selected properties. I could also just lock them down, but I don't think I'll do that. I'll just hide them. And then this one we're just going to rename open. And set some limits to it. I don't know what these limits are yet, but we will get there. And accept that. So let's tweak. Let's tweak the open values. So when I come around like that, you can see the clip kind of hits the other clip right about there. We'll say 46. So we're going to go from 46 to, this actually closes down a little bit farther than the negative. -3 maybe. -2.5. I should have paid attention. 2.5. I think that's going to be good. I'm going to pop in here before I forget. I should have did this when we were at the other one. -2.6. Actually, 2.6 goes a little further. And what did we say? 46? Yeah, something like that. So I'm going to put max at 46. Say OK. There we go. Control E restores it. All right, I'm going to set some limits on this. Clip 2. I think I'm going to have clip 2 come out to about 90. And I think I'm going to have it stuck at this position. So we're going to move it from here to 90, I think is all the... Actually, we'll bring it in a little bit. Never mind. I've already changed my mind. It's the same thing. I think I only need this rotate on that. If I bring that in there, that's like -7. And since I'm right here, I'll just set that up real quick. -7 on that. And given what I was talking, I think I'll just set that to 90. And then we're just going to hide all this other translate, rotate, and scaling, except for the Y. There we go. And I'm going to rename the Y open or rotate. I'll call that rotate. It's the only thing that moves on here, so that's good. And then this thing, I just want it to twist. So let's redo that. Let's move on to clip 1. And I think that's X rotate is the only thing I want it to do. And I'm going to have to set that based on how much it hits the camera. So we're going to just hide all of this stuff except for that X rotate. Sounds good. I'm going to look at this from, I think, the right side. So let's pop into the right view. And the idea is to see where this clip lines up at. Oh, do you actually clear the camera? You actually clear the camera. I got to look at this from the left side because I can't see what I'm doing over here on the right side. Oh, I have it so it actually clears the camera now. So maybe I'll just do 90 and -90 on that. Since it's not actually hitting the camera at any point. We like that. Control E. Let's pop over here. And let's just set these to, like, say, -90 and 90. Probably good. I'm probably done rigging it. I set up my limits. I'm just going to call this rotate as well. It's the only thing that does anything. That's fine. Let's go back to default camera. So I think I'm all rigged. I think I'm happy with this. I should probably have parented it back here. This should probably be the main part, and then everything should be associated with that. I might re-rig this later. Part of me is thinking this should have been a separate part, and then I just parent this camera to that. Anyhow, this is what I got for now. All right, we're going to stick this on the rigid file. Well, we're going to save this right now. So this is in a happy spot. We're going to say this is a figure prop asset. We're going to come over here to the old beach party, to the sporty swim, to the people. Genesis a female clothing me. Right there, and right in here, we're going to call this the ACVO camera. And I had no idea where that went. I typed into the nether. All that typing is just lost to the universe. All right, that's part of the ACVO swim. This is just going to be a prop. What options do I get? I only get prop body options in here, and we're not going to use any of those. And then over here in category, I'm going to put you into props. Let's see, do we have electrical sports? I'm going to call this sports. for lack of, I don't know, where is there a photography category in here? Art? I don't have art. I got anatomy, architecture, furnishings, cityscape, containers, debris, food, industrial, kitchenware, lights, machinery, office, other. Maybe I'll just say other. I think I'm just going to call it other. What program is this? You mean Daz Studio? We're in Daz Studio. Alright, I have saved the camera out. Now when we come down here, I'm totally in the wrong folder because that's just the way everything rolls here. You forgot. Well, my stuff might be arranged a little bit different than yours, but it's basically Daz. Alright, there's our camera. Yay. There's our swimsuit. Alright, we're going to add this is just the tedious stuff now. But part of this project is to do most of the work on this outfit on stream. So we're going to take the morphs and get the morph set in here. And then we're going to do this for Genesis 8, Genesis 9. I think I've got a Genesis 8 here. I'm just going to delete you. I don't need the camera in here anymore, so it's good. Because we have that saved. At least I think we have it saved. Yeah, there it is. Yay. Okay, I'm going to load in Genesis 8. And for doing morphs, I start with I have a custom built bodysuit that has smoother morphs than you get automatically with the autofollow. And also I have adjustment morphs in that. So I'm going to use that to load the morphs into the outfit first. And then we put the outfit on this and clean them up with ZBrush. So we'll see how that goes. So this I need a bodysuit for. So I'm coming to my contact library. There's bodysuits for this. And then we're going to go do this for Genesis 9. And I've got to redo my... So later on, I'm going to redo the rigid follow node, and we're going to put it right there with the camera on it. And I forgot what I'm doing. I'm getting my bodysuits. That's right. There's my bodysuits. There's my people. There's my Genesis 8. Clothing. Me. Bodysuits. This is the latest version, which still could probably be better. Okay, so I got that bodysuit on there. And if you've ever seen breast morphs get dialed in, they do that shrink wrap thing, but not with my bodysuit because it's special. I cleaned up the morphs in this bodysuit. And now I can use this bodysuit to add these cleaner morphs into my regular clothes. And it just gives them a little bit of a step up on creating morphs. So anyhow, let's go back. Let's go get that swimsuit. And I'm going to just load that there. And I'm just going to load that there. I'm going to take both of these. Yo, DZ, how are you doing? I'm still on my swimsuit project. And everybody, check out the awesomeness that is DZ, Dzang. Thanks for sharing all that stuff Saturday too. You got some really cool stuff, man. Okay, I'm going to parent these to the bodysuit. If I can remember, I can never find anything. It's in here under Mish. It's where categories come in handy. You're doing fine. Excellent. I'm going to fit you to my bodysuit and accept that. Then I'm going to fit you to my bodysuit I'm going to accept that. You know, I'm going to just hide the bodysuit, and I'm just going to dial in morphs on this to get them to propagate into the clothes. So this is my Genesis 9 that I favored a whole bunch of the morphs that I always use, and then just resave that so I don't have to go looking for them. They're all right here. So I just have to kind of do this. And then we're going to clean them up with ZBrush. That really didn't. You know, some days this works better than others. It alleviates a lot of the weird breast wrapping. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Also, I use it to give myself adjustment morphs. Man, those really aren't falling very well today, are they? We've been doing a lot of cleanup in ZBrush today. You know what it is? Do I have morphs in here already? I'm going to reload these. We're going to go clean out that data directory. Oops. Damn it. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to reload them. We're going to redo this. I want to see if that makes a difference. I might have some automatically generated morphs getting in the way. So I'm just going to make sure the data directory on these parts are clean. And then we're going to redo this, and then we're going to touch them up in ZBrush. Sporty swim, sporty swim. There we go. Data, me, Akvo swim, bottom G8, morphs, base. Let's see, what do we got in here? Oh, I still have all this Genesis 9 crap in here too. We can get rid of all of that while we're in here. I don't need you guys. I don't need you guys. I don't have those morphs in here, so never mind. I don't think I need that FID Genesis 8, but I'm going to leave it alone for now. Those are all Genesis 9 morphs left over from when I just converted the outfit from the Genesis 9 version. So get rid of all of that. Let's go check and make sure the top is relatively clean. I need to delete all of these stuff out anyhow. They do me no good. I did get a bunch of the loosen morphs from Genesis 9, so that's okay. Get rid of those. And then, yeah, I don't have any. So it was relatively clean. So I'm just going to load these back in again. There is the bottom. There is the top. All right, let's apply this to the bodysuit. Fit to. I still have edit mode on. I should turn that off because it gets in the way. It just makes things a little harder to do. Bodysuit and accept that. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Yep, I'm good. All right, now I'm just going to do this again. It really didn't go very well last time, and I don't think it's going to look that great. But I'm doing it anyhow. It's my process. So I just need to. I need a. Can I change the value on all of these at once in edit mode? I'm thinking. I'm always thinking. Probably a bad idea, I know. So I'm going to select all of these. We're going to come over here and set values to 1. Yeah, baby. And then reset them back to 0. This is what happens when you dial every breast morph in all at once. I'm not sure this was a good idea. Probably not. And then if I just go back to values and reset you back to 0. See, something didn't get reset. Oh, some of these are at 100. I just reset. There we go. All right. I've got some adjustment morphs on here. We're going to run through those. I'm not going to do the same thing I just did there. I'm just going to dial them in. Except, where are you guys? Oh, there you are. So you can't see the bodysuit, but when I dial those morphs in, you can see it's adding the adjustment morphs to the clothes. I don't need calves. I do need a chest forward. Scale that. Scale that. I do want to put that crotch down. Do a little side-to-side action with that crotch. Make that crotch wide. Adjust cuffs. I don't need that. Elbows. Nope. Forearms. Nope. Adjust the front. Yep. Hip width. Just knees. I don't have any knees. What am I doing? There's a rear. I do have shoulders. And there's the left side. That does the right side. Will the thighs do anything? Thighs did not do anything. There's a little bit of tummy action. Adjust upper arms. I don't think that didn't seem to do anything. There's a little bit of a waist adjustment. I don't need the ankles or the shins. I think I have an expand in these already, so I don't need those. And I think I've got these loosens. You know what? I'm just going to loosen the buttocks anyhow. And the chest. And that collar. I don't need the elbows, the knees. A little bit of midriff. I'm probably doubling up some of these, but we'll clean them up later. That did not do anything. Thighs is a waist. Waist lower. Waist upper. And the wrist. Okay, these are good. We're going to save these out. So we're going to save these as a... I have a button for this, but if you don't have a button, you're going to do it this way. Save a support asset as a modifier asset. Product is base. I'm just going to check on that. I'm going to clean these up later. And that saves all those now generated morphs in the bottom. Now we're going to do the top. This time I'm just going to use my button. Say base. And you know what? I'm just going to get everything and clean it up later. Okay, now I can get rid of this stuff, I think. I'm just going to hide it for a second. We'll see how this looks. And then we're going to clean this up with ZBrush. And I'm switching back to texture shaded. I was using wireframe earlier and just forgot to turn it off. Alright, what am I doing? I'm going to reload in the top and the bottom. And these should now have the adjustment morphs and everything in them. So let's check our top. See, my top now has that adjustment morph. Yay. Alright, I'm just going to run through these morphs and clean them up. I'm going to turn these gray, though, so they're easier to work with. Where am I going? Surfaces. There we go. I'm going to select all of that. I think I got my secret shaders in here. There they are. So do that, and I'm just going to make them a kind of a neutral gray so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to do the top first, and then I'm going to have to close Daz down and relaunch it. Probably because GoZ gets confused between figures. So for the top, I'm going to select the top. We're going to select the Genesis 8 female figure. And then we just go through and come here to favorites and roll through these and fix them up. It helps me, though, if I have a list of names that I can copy and paste. So I'm going to open that up. So I have a list of basically Genesis 8F morphs, and we're doing the breasts first. And this way I don't have to remember what these are. I can just copy and paste them. And I'm just going to slide that over the screen too, where you can't see it. And then we just dial in breast cleavage, and I don't think that's going to work. There we go. And now we're just going to go Z and say accept. And wait while ZBrush comes and does its stuff. We're waiting. There it is. All right. Bring it in. Go to edit mode. Frame it up. And I got that bodysuit in here. Damn it. It picked up the invisible bodysuit. Let me see if I can do this without the bodysuit. Probably not. I've probably now screwed ZBrush up. Go Z will now get confused. I'm going to have to shut this all down and restart it. I'm just... Hey, did that work? Hey, that worked. Alright, I'm going to tweak the settings of my tool. I like a little smaller. And dial the intensity back on that. And dial the smoothing intensity way down. You come in here and I'm just going to smooth that out a little. And my brush is still a little larger than I like. And then we're just going to pull this stuff back out. And this is probably what we're going to do for the rest of the stream. Alright, activate Go Z. Alright, I need to go and copy that name of that morph. So that's what that list of names I had earlier. Just put that there. We overwrite the existing and accept that. And one down and 1,008 more to go. I've got the wrong camera on, so let's switch to perspective view. And Go Z is in the way. Let me see if I can move that so I can still see chat. There we go. I know, the ZBrush. It's the old one though. I have that perpetual license, but it does what I need it to do. Alright, so that's one down. Moving on to the next one. Breast diameter, I need to tweak that just a little bit. I'm just copying that name from over here. Pop on that Go Z button. I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit. Yeah, I don't... As long as it keeps working on my operating system. This makes cleaning up morphs really easy, though. Bada bing, bada boom. I wish there was like a Go Blender. Or I would probably do this with Blender. And accept that. And that is cleaned up. And then we use the breast gone. That one really did a crummy job, didn't it? Alright, I'm going to smooth all of this out a little. And then we're just going to pull it up. Oops. Probably good enough. Let's take a quick peek at the back. Looking fine. I gotta copy that. I did copy that. Okay. Go Z. Boom. Overwrite. Accept. Undo. Breast heavy. I'm getting poked through on the bottom. So I've got to do that one. Alright, and I like to smooth a little bit to start with. And then we bring it up. This is so much better than that auto fit wraparound, though. It almost makes me look professional. Oops, a little too much smoothing there. And it often will just cover just with the mesh smoothing, but I don't even know if I have the mesh smoothing on right now. All right, looking good. All right, let's do breast implant left. Little bit of smoothing. Do a little smoothing over here. I went too far. I went out of bounds. Okay, probably good. All right, let's do the right. Copying the file name from screen 2. Activating the Go Z. I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. And then we'll bring it back out. Baby steps. Are you looking good? I think that'll be fine. I'm practically kneeling over. We'll call it a day, friends. Hey, Willie, thanks for popping in, man. It was good to see you. And got to clean up the bottom of that just a little. That is a control breast implant. That actually drives the other two morphs, but not awesome. So we still can clean that up a little bit. I think that's fine. And I think the backs are more or less with the chest stuff not doing anything. So I'm probably good. All right, breast natural left. That poked through just a little bit down there. Some days these work better than others. This one's not working so well. A little bit of smoothing. Touch that up a little. A bunch more smoothing over here. And then probably good. All right, that was the left. There's the right. A little bit of smooth, a little bit of pulling that out. Some smoothing. And then just bring those back out. Is fine. All right. Now the control. I got a little bit coming through there. That's not poke through. No, is that poke through? That is that poke through or is that just dirt? That is just dirt. Somebody's got to clean his monitor off. Dang. That happens a little more often than I like. Alright, that's the control for the breast natural. Moving right along. We're on the breast shapes now. This goes relatively quickly, but I mean, when you have a 2-hour stream, it really is going to probably eat up most of the. And then we're also going to do this for Genesis 9. I think I might be able to get the Genesis 9 before stream and the stream. I'm optimistic. I think I'm good. That is breast size 1, right? I hope so, because that's what I copied. Trust me, you don't want to make a mistake. It's painful. Alright, here's 2 needs a little bit of work. I think they're all going to need a little bit of work, frankly. I might get luckier with Genesis 9. For some reason, Genesis 9 auto transfer is a lot nicer. I have noticed that. It just gets, I don't know, the auto transfer morphs just seem smoother in general. And the transfer of the rigging tends to be a little nicer. I don't have to touch things up as much for the Genesis 9 transfers. I know I shouldn't say that. It's sacrilege. Did I copy 2? I did copy 2. Okay. So I'm just going to smooth you out. Got to bring that up a little. Get that out. Get the other side. Do a little bit of smoothing through here. I think I'm good. Hopefully I'm on 2. That does say 2, so we're good there. I still have edit mode on. I got to turn that off. It's just, that's an extra click that I don't need to be doing. All right, we are on 3. And then I got to do this for the bottom as well. The bottom doesn't have all the breast morphs, and they generally end up being a little bit better anyhow. So that it's the breast morphs of the pain. There we go. I'm doing the Go Z thing with number 3. I got a little bit of poke through right up in there. Just smooth that out a little. Just put a little bit of smooth in there, and then just pull you out. Slightly, slightly, slightly. Just a little bit. Probably good. Looking good. On to 4. Oops. I double clicked on one of my objects. Little smoothing and a little pulling out. Is that? I don't see any pokey through up on the top, so I'm probably good there. I think I'm on 4. On to 5. And what I'm trying to do is trying to make sure that crease isn't too harsh. So I'm go in there and I try to smooth it out to begin with. I can't see it, but I can imagine it's a little harder looking than I want. So I just automatically will just smooth and then just come and pull it back out. Seems to work for me. Are we good? And I think that was 5. On to 6. And this is why I'm using the perspective camera, so when I undo, it doesn't undo camera moves. You can't undo camera moves with a perspective camera, which is handy for what I'm doing right now. Because then when I hit undo, it just undoes that last morph I did. Just teeny little things that help you go faster. It comes down to extra clicks. The fewer clicks you can do this stuff in. Because when you do something 1,000 times, that extra click starts to add up. That's why I hate you, Windows 11. You and your extra clicks. Oh hey, that commonly used function. That's an extra click away from here. Oops, that was not, I copied that. I didn't mean to copy that. I wanted to paste. Control V, there we go. That would have been bad. Alright, we're looking good. On to number 7. I think one of these days I might redo these bodysuits a little bit. It's probably time to take an extra couple years of learned lessons to make them better. I've just been too lazy. I have to take them in the Blender or take them in the Marvelous Designer and redo the morphs. Basically load them on a bodysuit, use a target to reshape them, and then use that as the morph target. And I think that is good for 7. On to 8. There's actually less in the chest here than there is on Genesis 9. I feel like there's fewer breast morphs, but then Genesis 9 has those pec morphs. And I end up just doing them as well. Even with the female. It doesn't hurt, I suppose. Although I'm not doing the billions of Daz characters. I can't keep track of that. Are you kidding me? I can't afford that anymore. That's what it really comes down to. With a new character every 2 weeks or so. So this should be 8. Did I copy 8? I don't know. I am not used to... Well, it's not a symmetrical mesh, for one thing. So I've been staying away from symmetry just for that reason. And you're supposed to be 0. I mean, I can play with it, I suppose. But because the mesh isn't symmetrical, I don't trust... I have to play and see how it is. And now I forgot what I'm doing. Did I just do this? I think I just did 7 and I'm dialing in 8. And was I bringing it back in? I have 8 selected over here, so I think I've got 8 copied. So I think we're go-zing with 8. Okay, I was go-zing with 8. Okay. Just check the X. I'll do that right now. We'll do the next one with the symmetry and see how that works. So we'll dial in the breast size. We'll pop over to here. We'll hit that X key. It seems that maybe I can get away with that. Oh, there you go. I'm saving time. Thanks, DZ. Did that work? Good enough. Control V. Override existing. Accept. I've got one more brush. And small might not even. Nope, small got a little bit. Got a little bit right there. Copy that. But remember to set it back. I have to what? Re-Z. Do I have to do that every time? No, I still have it. X again. All right, I think I'm good with that. Control V, override existing, and accept. All right. Moving on to the bodies. So I'm going to switch directories over here. You always it sounds like, yeah, I can see that. Oh, and I got a little bit of that brush size still dialed in. Hopefully that didn't screw things up too bad. Let me check this. Well, that is okay. I imported this morph. Now, you did not go all the way back. That's looking fine. Body size. I need a little bit of touch up down there. The back is fine on the top. But we got to fix that front. So that is body size. And double check. We got a little bit that missed over there. Body tone. I think that's fine. I'm gonna. Here, we'll do this. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I still have those breasts small on. Damn it. Let's turn you off. I gotta double check body size because I had a little bit of the breast small dialed in. It looks like it's gonna be fine. So body tone, bodybuilder details. Gotta touch that up. When I remember, so bodybuilder is a control. Bodybuilder details are actual morphs, but bodybuilder will drive these. So I try to do these first, and then do this one. And so we're doing the details first because the bodybuilder will dial in that bodybuilder details. So changes I make to that also impact the bodybuilder. So I'm going to smooth this out and then bring it up again. See, I missed a little bit over there because of the lack of symmetry. But this is working out fairly well. Let's do that. I think we're good. I think I have my smoothing turned off too, but maybe I do. I think that's going to be good. Okay, let's do the size. Boy. Copy that. Zip over to here. Accept that. Just a little bit of smoothing. Wow. And a little smooth through here. And then we'll check the back. Bodybuilder's one of those that'll have poke through in the weirdest spots. I think we're good on that. Bodybuilder size, overwrite, accept. Alright, undo. God damn it, there's still a little bit of that. But it's so small it shouldn't have do anything. Alright, and bodybuilder. Dialed in pretty clean, but I think I'm just going to smooth this out just a hair in here. And it looks like I could just pull that up just a hair over there. I think that's good. All right. I'm going to Control Shift F, reset that just in case I've got something dialed in badly. So we're going to wait a minute while the Genesis 8 resets. Alrighty. So back to the top, select that, and we should be good to go. We are emaciated. I think I'm just going to smooth that out a little. I got a little bit of weirdness right there in the back as well. Although I'm not getting poked through, I am just going to smooth it out. And I got a little weird tint going on here. And I got to make this smaller because I don't want to be clipping that edge. Oops. Although I'm not going to go crazy. I am going crazy now. Ah! All right. Yeah, it looks fine. All right, fitness details. Probably good. Fitness size. I think I'm going to smooth that out just a little. All right, the back is fine. I just want to maybe a little smoother through here. I'm going to make my brush a wee bit bigger. Double check to make sure I didn't screw anything up there. Let's take a look at the straps. Probably good. All right, let's see how fitness dials up. You know what? I think fitness is fine. We're just checking. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, Evie. Oh, I got a little bit up there in the armpits and a little bit there on the breasts. Cheap viewers. Dang it, I'm in the wrong view. Hold on a second. We gotta kill a bot. Whack a bot. Can I see? There we go. Bye bye. And now I can hear myself on screen too. Dang it. All right. We're doing the heavy morph. Copy that. Come over here. All right, pull that out just a little bit, and then I'm just going to smooth. And then just try to pull this stuff out some. And probably try to smooth a little bit more. Pull it out a little bit more. And maybe smooth and pull, smooth and pull. I think that'll be fine. Let's take a look around the back. Make sure nothing. Yeah, it's looking good. That's probably going to be fine. Okay, can I just undo that? Yep. And I've lost my favorites. There's my favorites. Where am I? I'm over here. I'm on the pear. Oh, just a little bit snuck out of the bottom of the breast on the pear. We need to get a little fix there. Smooth that out and just pull it out just a wee bit. Check the back. I think is fine. All right, thin. Oh, poked through just a little on the thin. It also could be smoother, so we'll do that. And we'll just double check straps and back, and I think I'm good. Oops. You say thin? You say thin. Voluptuous, I'm probably going to... Well, that just did a craptastic job with Voluptuous. I really need to redo that one, don't I? Or it just did not auto-fit my bodysuit very well, one or the other. Is it going to take a little bit more work? So I'm just going to viciously smooth that out. And then slowly try to get this up. I'm probably then going to re-smooth a little bit. Maybe not too much. And then get that back out. All right, need to fix that just a hair. Let's take a look around the back. I haven't been having issues on the back with this outfit. And I think that's it for the top. And I just typed in ZBrush. That's not what I want to put there. I want that to say FBM Voluptuous. That's what we want. There we go. Alright, so that gives me the basic morphs, the base shape. So special morphs we'll do, I don't know, maybe Saturday. I think we'll try to do texturing. Also, we still have to do the bottom and the Genesis 8. So probably Thursday we'll get the Genesis 8 morphs done, and then maybe we can get more texturing done. We're going to do this bottom though. So actually, before I lose it, I'm going to select this, and we're going to save those morphs out. And I'm just going to save everything, and I'm going to clean it up later. Okay, and now we'll see if I can do the bottom or if I have to restart Daz. So select the bottom, select Genesis 8, and we're just going to go through body size. I see a little bit of poking through on there. So, and hey, it worked. So we got a little bit of peekaboo there. Am I Xing? I'm not Xing anymore, am I? Now I am Xing. But I already started. All right. And now I'm going to X and go to the back. and clean this up. Looking good. I'm just going to smooth that out just a little. I think I got a little bit of peekaboo there. Oops, there's a little bit right there. So I think I'm good. Okay, except that. Oops, damn it. I did that wrong. Let's do this again. I forgot to hit that checkbox. I have to say overwrite, or else it's going to try to make this its own separate morph. I think I got a little bugaboo there. That'll probably smooth out. Alright, body tone. Oh, I had just a little right there on the hip bone. Right there. Alright, let's check the back. I got a little bit right there. I think I'm doing fine. Body tone. Body tone. I still have a little... my undos aren't really... I must be manually typing. Okay, I'm going to double check my body size. And then I'm going to double check my body tone. And I think I'm good. Alright, bodybuilder details. I could see a little bit coming through over on the hips again. Just a little bit over here. Look at that, there's a little bugaboo right there. I see a wee bit there. Got a little back in here. Otherwise fine. Okay, bodybuilder size. Yeah, I thought that would happen. Sure I did. Here we go. Boom. Yep. Tweak, tweak, tweak. I've been getting just a little bit back in here too, haven't I? It's probably good. Alright, let's see how bodybuilder goes. I think bodybuilder is working. Now that we've already tweaked the details and the size. I gotta take a look at the back though. Oh, I got just a little bit on the back. It smooths away, but I could just see it pop in when we dialed that up. Right there. And that should be good. I'm just going to take a slow... Yeah, it looks fine. And that's the control. Overwrite, accept. And now when I dial, I'm going to dial that back in. And if you just hold on to the dial and don't let go of it, this is just before it auto smooths or smooths out. So if I get poke out in there, I like to fix it. Sometimes it'll smooth away, but I kind of want it to be good in a not smoothed fashion. All right, emaciated. I think that might, well, let's see how it looks in the back. That looked fine. Fitness details. You know, that one seldom needs fixing because it's so slight. Fitness size. I think that was looking fine, but we'll see what the back looks like. Looking good. We'll dial in fitness now. Looking fine there. It's so fine. All right, heavy. Oh, we got just a bunch of heavy poking out of the bottom there. Easy fix, easy fix. I'm getting a little more on one side than I am on the other. And then, of course, that's not an unusual spot to get poked through on the heavy morph. So I think we're good. And we got a couple more. We got pear, and I see a little bit coming through on there. Thin and then voluptuous. Just a little bit right there. Oh, we got a little face in the back. Couple eyes and a nose. I think we're good there. Okay, so Thursday we're going to have to do the morphs on Genesis 9. And ideally we should then get to the textures. Overwrite. I still got two more. We still have to look at thin. That's looking fine there. That's fine. Voluptuous. Ooh, we're going to fix that crack. And maybe smooth out that. So I'm going to do that. I want to make this small. And I'm trying to just get a little smoothing right in here. But I don't want to hit that edge. So hopefully I didn't screw up the other side. Probably not. And then we'll just smooth out this. I want to turn the X off on that. Maybe make you larger. Are you smoothing out? I think you smoothed out. Yeah, I think so. Get you fixed a little bit. I think I'm good to go. That's just dirt on the monitor. Don't freak out about it. Okay, we've got the morphs, the body morphs and the adjustment morphs. I still have to clean up morphs, but we'll do that when we add the special morphs. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Let's save these. Modifier asset, base. I'm just going to save them all right now and clean them up later. So when I clean them up, we're just going to rearrange what groups they're in. I'm going to color some of them, and then we're going to flag some morphs to get rid of out of the data directory that we don't need. So this is where we're going to leave off for today. I don't even have to save this file, but I'm going to. Let's zero her back out. And let's find somebody to raid. What is it? It's Tuesday. I'm going to hit save because this is the Akvo Swim whip file. Yeah, thank you for being here, Art. It's always a pleasure. DZ, it was great to catch you. Willie, I know you're sleeping. And Charles, I hope you're feeling better. I know you're not around, but still. We're going to go raid out to somebody. Oh, where are we? Where am I? Who am I? What's the meaning to life, the universe, and everything? I know the answer. I just want to know what the meaning is. Infozar is on, but we just rated Infozar. I think we rate him a lot. Maybe we'll just hang out with Erumakin. I think maybe we'll just say hi to Erumakin. I'm just going to the bottom of my list though, to see if there's any music or art buddies at the end, near the end. Nope, we're going to hang out with our good friend. He just does hangout streams basically. Erumakin. So let's go do that. Where did he go? And then he's probably going to raid Infozar anyhow. He is puzzling right now. So I will be back Thursday. Thank you all for being here. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be continuing with this outfit. Up next is we will be getting over to the Genesis 9 version and kind of doing these morphs for that. And then if we get those done, which I hope, then we can move on to getting more work done on the textures. So thank you all. I hope you'll have a good rest of a Tuesday or Wednesday for those of you on the happy sunny side of the planet. And yeah, let's get out of here. I got raid calls. Feel free to copy that if you're not a subscriber. Hopefully you can join the raid. Or copy this if you are a subscriber. Sub raid. Oh, and Twitch. If there's anybody still over on Twitch, thank you. I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you being here. And all right, bye bye Twitch. Or that's YouTube. Bye YouTube. YouTube people are going, what? Where did he go? Anyhow, Twitch, we're still here. We're raiding. We're going to raid E-Room. I can't spell E-Room again without looking at it. Or maybe I can. Nope, it went away. Is that how you spell the Erumakin? I don't know. I can't tell. I don't see if a raid's been created. Nope, I don't think I did that right. Let's try this again. / raid Erumakin. Zyrostana, getting in here just as I'm typing my raid command. How are you, Zyrostana? And I think that was a follow. Thank you for the follow and appreciate the raid. You have that skill. I know you were you're going, can I get in there? Can I do it? So thank you for that. We've been working on this outfit. I'll just explain it real quick. I'm working on a little outfit here for Daz Studio. Oh, you have a headache tonight? I'm sorry. Yeah, I hope it's better soon. Well, when you stream at the same time, so I've just been working on this. This is just the gray version. It does have textures, but today it's a swimsuit. It's a swimsuit. So I'm making a swimsuit for this character. It has textures, although I don't have them on right now. Or why does she have underwear under her underwear? Under her swimsuit? Oh yeah, that's so it's Twitch safe. Because often I'm working without the clothes on, and then I have to have the Twitch safe underwear on. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here that long. So that's why she's got undies under her undies. Anyhow, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. I hope your headache gets better. We're actually in the middle of raiding out. My raid command's funky from this chat. I have to go do it over here on another chat window. And I don't know why. She swallowed a fly. There we go. Raid has been created. I hope you all can stick around for the raid. I appreciate it. Erumakin is an awful cool guy. He does puzzles. He does words on stream. He opens up Kinder eggs. and builds Lego sets. Sometimes he's out there doing IRL, hanging out at the Dairy Queen or biking through, I think it's Indianapolis, but I'm not entirely sure. So anyhow, if you can stick around for that, that would be awesome. I'm going to retype my raid calls. If you can feel like copying this and joining us to go raid somebody else, that would be great. And here's a sub raid call, just in the off chance somebody's actually subbed. I am. I'm copying that one. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I will be back Thursday, 7 p.m. We're continuing with this outfit. I have to do more morphs of the Genesis 9 version, and then we're going to do more texture work. So that's where we are with this project. This is a project where I'm doing most of a Daz product on stream. We started last Thursday, and I've been working on it since. Yo, Mr. Shelley, how are you doing? Hi and bye. Yes, sir. Anyhow, thank you all for being here, and hasta la vista, baby. I can't copy that way. I have to copy this way. All right, hasta la vista, baby. We're going.